Uh,
Oh no, we're live now. Okay, well,
ah,
let's play the.
yeah, let's play an intro of some sort.
Let's play some sort of intro. Why not? Dun, 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 dun,
Here we are.
dun. Hey, how are we doing, everybody? How are we
Evening,
doing, James?
James, I think that's the closest you've ever called it. Literally to the second.
Yeah,
Good
I
evening
was
to-
downstairs getting ice and found the freezer was wedged shut. I couldn't get the ice out.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm sorry I was late for work this morning, boss. My freezer was shut. Anyway, so
brilliant.
for those of you who've not watched the show before,
Where have
we'll
you
have a
been?
quick shout around. My name is Richard. I'm from the Riker's Beard, and I stand in as host when Dan can't be with us. To my left is Carl. Carl, what's your name and where do you come from?
Well, as Richard rightly pointed out, my name's Carl, and I come from the north.
And below me is James. James, what's your name and where do you come from?
My name, as you rightly say, is James. I'm from the south, and I represent the Riker's Beard.
And all of us represent Trek fans everywhere. You know, for all groups, all societies. You know, we like to think of ourselves as a holistic Star Trek show.
Indeed, we are.
Now we've got a treat for we've got so much to get through tonight. There's news to get through. There's announcements to make, and there's a competition. The Mail-On Freighter, as our regular viewer will know, is the much coveted Mail-On Freighter, is going to be put up for a raffle, but more on that later.
Ooh,
For now, we normally start off with a drink. I'm hoping is that James, did you successfully get into your freezer?
I did. Look, here's the ice.
In which case, let's kick off with this. So, for someone who's not a regular viewer, we basically kick off the show once we've got some alcohol inside of James. James is now going to make us a Star Trek related cocktail and then provide us with a tenuous link as to why it's Star Trek related. Take it away, James.
Okay, so this evening's cocktail is the Boyce Margatini. And for this, you will require one cocktail glass. What you should do is a nice little bit of rimming of your glass with some ice there.
Yeah,
Nice rimming
great
action,
technique there,
everyone.
James.
And,
James,
put
James,
some salt so we can get some.
I'm not sure what you've done, but when you put something down, you went a bit quiet. I don't know if you knocked your microphone over or.
Can you hear me now?
A bit... Carry on.
Yeah, but
No, the microphone's still there. Anyway, okay. So, salty glass. Our old friend, the cocktail shaker. We will need, and I'm looking at my other screen for the recipe. Where are my proportions? There they are. Right. Let's have a double shot of gin. Not just any gin, of course. The Anno gin.
So this is not your regular tramp strength gin, is it? This is a refined gin.
It's a classy gin made in Kent, where all the best stuff comes from.
Well, not the
not
tea.
that you're biased.
The best tea doesn't come from Kent. The best tea comes from India and then goes via Yorkshire and then becomes the best tea.
I'm going to put some ice in there. Let's tip our gin in there. And then we need approximately 2/3 as much triple sec or Cointreau. I'm going to use Cointreau this evening, the orange liqueur. Let's tip that in there. Oh, that's a bit too much. Oh, well, never mind. We'll dub it out in post. That's how it works, right?
Apparently.
And then the juice of 1 freshly squeezed lime. Now, as usual, I'm using a Ferengi lime. So I'm going to put that in there. There we go. Freshly squeezed today, just for a change. And also, to add a little...
Sorry, James. What's the benefit of using Ferengi limes? What's the difference?
It has a particularly moist element to it.
Moist.
Moisture.
Good.
To add taste, I'm going to use some agave syrup. Just a little dash in there. There we go. Right. Shaky, shaky. So far, so good. Here we have our glass with the salt on the rim. I should really have some more ice in there, to be honest, but never mind. There we go. Where's the rest of my ice? There we go. Pop that in. And just for garnish, why not add a lime slice? And there we have the Dr. Boyce Margatini. Oh, that'll put hairs on your chest.
Was the rim salty enough for you?
Plenty salty, thank you.
And why is it called the Dr. Boyce Martini?
Do you remember the original pilot episode for Star Trek
Cage.
with Captain Pike? And Captain Pike is having a drink with Dr. Boyce.
Yes.
And Dr. Boyce says a man will tell his bartender things he won't tell his doctor. I don't actually remember what that drink was, but I don't care because I'm naming this one after him.
It was a martini, I think. I'm pretty sure it was a martini. And
Well,
I can also,
viewers can check while I drink it.
I can also confirm that people do tell their barman things they would never tell their doctor.
Well, we've got to tell a few people hello, so let's quickly. Hello, Christoph. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, matey.
Hello, Ben. What ho, Val?
Hi, Val.
What ho, Christoph? What ho, Stephen?
Gin.
Paul, I've got something that's going to interest you later, Paul. Oh, no, Paul, you weren't here last week. I've got to show Paul something now.
One of a kind.
Yeah?
Let's
What ho, Paul? What ho, Gary? Gary, I believe, is from Margate. Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Hi, Gary.
Nadim, how you doing, buddy?
and
And Linda from Chicago. It's so nice to see you all. Fantastic. Right, so we've got a lot to talk about this week. I think we should probably start by talking about some Star Trek. So, who wants to go first? As per usual, I want to know what you like the most about the most recent episode of Lower Decks. And I'd like to know what you like the least about it as well, so we can remain objective.
okay.
Trying to think, what was the episode? Remind me of the synopsis.
Carl, would you like to remind James of the synopsis?
Yeah.
I watched it Friday. I've forgotten which one it was.
Boimler joins in with a really elite group of crewmates called the Red Shirts that are all aiming to be
I
captains.
remember now. Yeah.
Kind of like Red Squad.
Yeah. I did like the idea about the whole Red Shirts name thing, though. But, as you know from when I've previously done reviews on Trek episodes, I like to look for the little meanings behind the episodes and the messages they're trying to give. And the thing I liked about this episode was the fact that it's basically staying, if you'll excuse my French, we are after the watershed, I believe, but basically stop giving a shit about what other people think about you and how they view you. Be yourself. That's the way to get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
That was my favourite bit. I saw that message in it very quickly and clearly.
And what did you enjoy, James?
Oh, I enjoyed the fact that, Boimler chucks in with these elite red shirts, doesn't he? Who are all bucking for promotion. And their idea of responding to a crisis is to stand proudly and deliver an inspirational speech to the people who are under rather than just get on and fix the problem. And there are 3 of them who are all monologuing in the middle of a crisis, whereas Boimler just goes, no, we can fix it by doing this. And, yes, that was my favourite bit.
Oh, I'm very pleased it was enjoyed by all. Neither of you have picked up anything about it that you'd like to fix. So I'm taking it. It was a 8 out of 10 episode?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'd go with that.
8 out of 10. That's marvellous.
Oh, Armus! Yes, how can we forget?
Good
they put
point
Armus
by
in it?
Paul. The fact that Armus was in it definitely makes it 8 out of 10.
And the only reason Armus appeared is because obviously the producers of Lower Decks watch us, and how frequently Armus has been a guest on our show.
He's been our most special of special guests.
He's been a throwaway character in an episode of TNG from 35 years ago.
Marvellous. Well, that's Lower Decks done. So, Linda says the prank call was epic. I hope you're not referring to the one that was delivered to me this week and you're not behind it. So, who wants to play a game?
Well, Misa,
Yeah.
me.
I'd like to play a game.
Who would like to play a game? Would you like to play a game, James?
I'd like to play a game.
Should we play a game?
Is it time for Choose Your Choose?
I think we should play Choose Your Choose. Right. If you've not watched the show before, I'm never entirely certain why people find this confusing. It's very simple. It's a very simple game. I'm going to show a clip, and you have to guess, dear viewer, if the person in the clip is going to get the question right or wrong. So in the comments, you simply have to put, right or wrong. If you've got a lucky cat, this will help you. Is that battery powered, James?
No, I'm actually operating it under the desk with a pedal.
Cool. So I'm going to play a clip. At a critical moment, there will be an interlude whereby you can guess if the person in the clip is going to get the question right or wrong. Okay. I would highly recommend in this particular one waiting until you watch the clip for people who are already guessing. People are already guessing like there's no strategy to this game, which I find insulting.
This is a game of skill.
This is a game of skill. Are we ready?
Oh, yes.
Final question for you, Tilk. What's better, Star Trek or Stargate?
How can you do this to me? I'm going to have to go with my heart, and I'm sorry, everybody. Star Trek.
Right.
You see what's happened there? Look, I guessed he was going to go wrong. No, he was going to go right. And then I talked myself out of it and said wrong. So I was right that he was... No, I was wrong that he was right. I'm right that he was wrong.
It's quite simple. So Linda said wrong, so she was wrong. Stephen said wrong, so he was wrong. Gary said right, so he was right. Val said wrong, so she was wrong. There's a theme going on here. Right? No, actually, the answer you were looking for there was Mr. Hom, so you're wrong as well. But there we are. So that's this week's Choose Your Choose. James, you're going to have to return that to the restaurant you stole it from, or they will prosecute. They'll come after you.
I think it's funny that for so many years, Western civilization have been trying to solve perpetual motion, and the Chinese have been hiding it in the cat for all these centuries.
I can't sync with it. It's too fast.
Well, there's an interesting question here in the comments. Was that Sci-Fi by the Sea? I would ask the person in the clip, but as he got it wrong, he probably doesn't remember.
It was Sci-Fi by the Sea, yeah.
It was Sci-Fi by the Sea. That was, 5 years ago? 4 years ago?
3 years ago was the last one that we had the set at. Yeah.
Some time ago, anyway. Yes. There we are. Right, so that's this week's competition done and dusted. Now, before I kind of move on, is there any other Trek-related news that we feel we must discuss?
Oh, there was an auction. I gather that Prop Store was selling off a lot of Discovery stuff. And if that sort of thing interests you, it may
Well,
interest
they cancelled Discovery already.
No, they're just flogging off the stuff as they're going.
I think it was the season 1 stuff, wasn't it?
Season 2.
Aren't they still using it though? Because they're still making the show. I mean,
if you
'cause
bid
season
on
2 was the
Captain
old
America's
uniforms, and
season
in the
2,
past,
you would have found you were bidding against Anson Mount, who actually won the auction.
right? Okay.
His own costume.
yeah.
Right. Well, there we are. There we are. Okay.
Some
So
news that's topical.
yeah.
And speaking of Discovery, we touched on it before the show, Richard. Discovery has won its first Emmy, I believe.
Yes, Discovery has won an Emmy. It managed to win a category that The Mandalorian was not entered into. So well done, Discovery.
Absolutely. Excellent work.
Fantastic.
For a
Won
smoke bomb.
it for visual effects. The Mandalorian was not entered into. So congratulations, Discovery, for that.
The Mandalorian entered into visual effects, but the whole thing is like digital screens and so on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so there we are.
That's like Usain Bolt not entering himself into the 100 meters, isn't it? Saying, "Oh, do you know what? I'll do swimming instead."
Look, we were talking about this before the show, and I think our viewer will benefit from some insight from professional from us. Genuinely, so The Mandalorian was made on a budget as a loss leader. I mean, literally, the amount of money they threw at that show was ridiculous. So I don't think it's fair that it can be entered into the same category as Discovery, because to be blunt, a lot of the Discovery effects are Poundland, but they were only looking like Poundland because Mandalorian episodes were coming out at the same time and they were so good. The fact that it was made as a loss and it did lose a fortune and they knew it was going to, I just don't think it's fair to put shows like Discovery in the same category for visual effects. Yeah, writing, directing, acting, yeah, fair enough. But visual effects, that's so much more budget than every other show. I kind of think it's fair enough. Your thoughts, James?
Yes, I would concur.
The depth of your insight, James, never ceases to amaze me.
All right, let me put it in a legal phrase. I have heard and read the argument of my colleague.
What have I done?
And for the reasons which have fallen from his lips, I agree wholeheartedly. I therefore allow the appeal.
Marvellous. Okay, so moving on to our next big news. Well, actually, I'm going to play the clip first, and then James is going to talk to our viewer about it. So,
I'm just adjusting my camera here.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Roll VT. Welcome to the bridge. Yeah, you've worked with not very many of the photos there, have you? They went around a couple of times. But 23rd of October this year, we have secured access to a venue, being the Oak Hotel in Ramsgate. We've already got our bridge set up down there, where they've given us a whole month to play with it and spend some time upgrading it, repairing it, giving it a bit of TLC that it often lacks when we rush it from convention to convention. We're going to be down there for the whole day on Saturday, the 28th of October. We're hoping to have one or two special guests. We're hoping to have a quiz. We're hoping to have lots of fun and sci-fi cocktails made by me. We're going to allow people to come and play on our bridge set. It's going to be fun, and we want lots of people to come along. We want them to wear costumes, and the good news is that if you do, We're in a private area. We've got a private bar, or 2 private bars, in fact. So there's no question of Joe Public wandering in. So yes, it's going to be a fun, safe space for sci-fi fans, and it's principally going to be Riker's Beard related. But if anyone wants to get in touch and they've got other stuff, like if anyone wants to bring an R2D2 down or something, let us know. It's going to be fun.
I'm gutted I can't make it. Absolutely gutted I can't make it.
Oh.
As James says, we're treating it very much just as a social gathering, not as a promoted event. People are just happy to come along. We would very much like you to register your interest and say if you're coming or not, because of obvious COVID rules and bits and pieces. We need to have a good idea for numbers to what we can cope with, because we don't know what rules might be around at the time. So if you could confirm your interest, I've popped a link in the comments section to the public event, so you should be able to say whether or not you'd like to come or whether you're thinking of coming, and also on the page itself, the event page, anything you'd like to see, any ideas for the evening, because this is not a Showmasters event. This is a social gathering. So let us know what you'd like to do and how we can have fun, and we'll take it all on board.
Yes, and we're going to have a very modest door charge, but the purpose of that is essentially just to stop curious onlookers coming in. We want people who want to come down for the day and enjoy themselves to hang out with us. We have negotiated with the landlord of the Oak Hotel that there will be preferential rates available for anyone who wants to stay in the hotel, if they let him know that he's associated with us. And I think we've also got the availability of a couple of rooms for cosplayers to change in, haven't we, Richard, in the hotel?
Yeah, we've got a safe space for cosplayers to change in. And again, if you book the hotel, if you say you're booking for this social gathering, you'll get a preferential rate. And I forgot to get it to hand, but there's going to be a raffle for the first 20 people that confirm their attendance. There will be a raffle. So if you have access to Facebook and you click on the event page via the link there and confirm you're coming, then you will be put into a raffle to win the coveted gold mail-on freighter.
You tell us this after I say that I can't make it. If I'd have known this was up for grabs, I'd have made much more effort.
Tops. Okay.
Still got a month to try and sort this out.
This is a one-off edition, and there it is. I mean, slightly damaged mail-on. Fine. It's hardly used mail-on freighter. That wrong with that. That'll polish out.
It's screen accurate.
Screen accurate.
Yes, and another feature of this is because we've got the set down there for a whole month, and we've basically got free use of the room. If there are any fan film productions who are looking to film on our bridge, thanks, Dan. No cost whatsoever associated with this. If anyone wants to come and play on the bridge, the only thing we would ask is that you treat it with respect.
We've already had a number of people ask if it's okay to come down and have their picture taken on. Obviously, on the night, everyone's more than welcome to play on the set and have their picture taken. But because it's going to be. Yeah, but if it's going to be set up down there. So if there's a photo shoot specifically you want done, want to use it for a fan film or something, please do get in touch via the page. We'll try and accommodate as many people as we can. With view to entertainment, I'm going to set up a guitarioke station where the Star Trek guitar will be with a microphone and an amplifier. Anyone who wants to give us a few tunes is more than welcome to. So we're going to try and just make it.
Richard, can I just remind you, the War Crimes Tribunal says that I'm not allowed to sing in public.
You're not allowed to sing in public, no.
Yeah.
But you can play your triangle. That's how we're a band. But, no, we're band. I keep getting that wrong. We're band, not a band. We're band. But it's going to be very much a fluid night in terms of, if anyone does remember Page's Bar in London. Well, James, if you can tell us a bit more about Page's Bar and the spirit of where this idea has come from.
Well, Page's Bar, I've spoken of it often on our show, and our viewer will probably be sick and tired of hearing me espouse what fun it was. But let's pull down the old commissioning plaque that I got in the auction when they closed it down. Page's Bar was just a wine bar in London that on Saturday nights, when there was no one else otherwise going in, said, let's have a Star Trek night. And the first night they thought they might get a couple of dozen people, and they got several hundred people turn up. And for several years, every Saturday night, the place was wall to wall with Trekkies, most of whom would dress up for the occasion. Everyone had a great time. In terms of entertainment, they played a few tunes. We'd all sing along to Bohemian Rhapsody, and at the end of Bohemian Rhapsody, where there is the line, anyone can see, everyone would yell out, except Geordie. And, they would play episodes on the big screen. I mean, we've all got huge screens at home now, but back in the day, in the 90s, sort of the projector screen that they would otherwise show football matches and so on was used to show episodes that had been sent over on VHS cassette by FedEx. This is pre-internet, really. I mean, I was at university at the time, and I'd got my first email account that I had to go to the library to log on to. It was all dial-up at the time, but yeah, it was a great place, and there's been nothing like it since. And I just wanted to recapture that vibe and create a place that people would go and say, it's a Saturday night, I'm just going to turn up. I don't have to pay a fortune to get in. I don't have to queue for anything. I just turn up. My mates are going to be there. We're going to do nothing but talk about Star Trek, because that's what everyone there has in common.
So if everyone who's watching could please very kindly give the show tonight a like or a love. And in the comment section, in the comments section, I'm going to post it again. Any Star Trek UK, or possibly even European or even American groups that you're a member of, if you could share the event too, to get the word out there we're having this meetup, would be most grateful.
I love the way you describe the night as fluid. That's going to be fluid in both consumption and structure, I'm guessing.
It's going to be a fluid-based night. It's going to be a fluid-based night. But yeah, seriously, if everyone watching could give the show a like or a love, and yeah, it'd be absolutely wonderful. We want to see, obviously, as many people as we possibly can come to this, because if we're honest with you, there's not been a lot of meetups for the sci-fi and the Star Trek crowds for some time.
Well, the thing is,
we're hoping.
So you all big events which have been completely banned and may yet still not happen because of COVID rules and so on. So what we're doing is a much more intimate, low-key event. You don't need to plan anything. Just all we want is a rough idea of how many people are coming, so we can make sure we can accommodate you. It'd be a real shame if 5 people turned up.
If it's 12 people, we'll be happy. If it's 200, it's fine, but we've got to accommodate you. So if you can let us know if you're coming again. But it's just a case. It really is a case of we'd be very, very pleased to see you all. So,
yeah.
Right. So moving on with the show. Getting in a bit early. Well, I can't find it. So, Carl, you'll have to just chop in with James's wish. Oh no, we have the intro for it first, don't we?
Oh yeah. Do you want me to play the intro?
Yeah, play the intro.
Yeah.
Yes, well, dear viewer, Wish, as you may know, is something I've been on the internet and found that is loosely or primarily Star Trek related. And we focused a little bit on musical features lately. So we've had disco Star Trek, etc. This is operatic Star Trek. Roll VT.
brilliant.
Love it.
Normally, you chuck up a load of old guff, James, but that was lovely. That was almost as good as Ludlaw's frozen foods and the Milwaukee bus service. Not quite. It doesn't top either of those, but it was absolutely superb. I thoroughly enjoyed that, James.
Yeah.
They spelt orchestra wrong.
Now, the interesting thing is, I found more than one example.
Is it going to be interesting? Is it going to be interesting?
It is going to be interesting.
Okay, all right.
So I reached out to a friend of mine who is an opera singer because I know everyone.
Oh, is that your friend?
I have not that woman.
You got her to do that clip. You know her.
No. I reached out
Oh,
to
it's
a
not that
different
interesting.
lady who is
Okay.
you know what? It doesn't matter. Forget it.
No, I feel bad now. No, tell us. I've been mean.
So I reached out to my friend, the opera singer, and sent her a different version of that clip by a different singer who I think was Swedish. And I said, do you think you could reproduce this performance for us? And she said, I would, but unfortunately I don't speak Swedish, so I can't do those words.
Oh dear.
So there you have it. That was the opera story. Yes. Now, actually, this brings us back to our last feature because, of course, we are going to be looking for some entertainment to entertain our guests on the 23rd of October.
Well, we've still got collectibles to do.
Well, don't worry. I'm just making sure that the 23rd remains uppermost in everybody's mind.
Absolutely.
We are going to want to have some sort of stuff on monitors. So if anyone really is the sort of person who's completely alone, still can't find anyone to talk to, they'll have something to watch, if nothing else. So we'll be looking for all sorts of nonsense like the Wish clips to put on the screen somewhere. So anyone wants to nominate stuff, let us know.
I think if we could have a compilation of the top 10 Wish from Let's Talk Trek.
Yeah.
I mean, Ludlaw's Frozen Foods, the Milwaukee Bus Department. There's
Yeah.
You could do it like. Do you remember back on the old? Was it CIC VHS where they did the flying through thing, and then do you remember the one they did for the movies where it was like 1, the motion picture, 2, the Wrath of God? Well, you could do it that way, but like the countdown of the Wish clips leading up to the best one.
The hardest thing.
Nominate for me your favourite Wish clips if you'd like. Let me know which ones you've enjoyed the most, and we'll shortlist them. Yeah.
There's a plethora.
Why, Richard?
Well, I'm thinking that you're just saying, you've got a plethora because you don't know what a plethora is, and you're just trying to mislead me by saying you think you know what a plethora is, when you really have no idea.
Forgive me, Richard, but could it be you're annoyed at something else? You're just looking to take it out on me?
Because you do not have my intellect
and education.
Oh, it's going to go all Top Gear now, right?
Oh dear. Sorry,
anyone who has not
we've offended the Mexican people.
I urge you to do so.
Right.
Oh, okay, right. Now that I've calmed back down.
Don't mind
Oh, there I am. Okay, so this week, dear viewer, you may or may not be aware, was a milestone anniversary of my birth this week. I was the big 4-0.
Oh, you spring chicken, you, Carl.
I know. I'm the youngster on the screen. I know how fortunate I am. But as always with said anniversaries of my birth, I tend to receive gifts of a Star Trek nature.
Ah.
And this year was no exception, dear viewer. So I received from my not Marvels, no. From my youngest attempt to better humanity, I received some little pop vinyls.
Oh, look. Mirror Universe, Kirk, and Khan.
Yeah.
Oh, that begs a question, Carl. In the Mirror Universe, would Khan be really nice?
I don't know. I guess potentially he
I
would be.
thought Khan was nice.
Well,
And I agreed with a lot of his ethics. I've got to be honest with you.
But I mean, I know some people aren't into these, but you know what? I think they're fun things to have just dotted around the shelves here and there. You don't need to go crazy and trying to collect like massive walls of them, like you see in if you're lucky enough to have a HMV still around you or anything like that.
Are they articulate at all? These pop things? Do the heads
No,
wobble, or
you
do
do
the
get
arms do
some of
that?
them. No, you do get some of them where they're bobblehead type ones, but the Trek ones don't tend to be included in those. The Trek ones are fairly standard, but I just love these. They're great. Look at that one of Kirk. He's got the Mirror Universe bandana, the badges, the little dagger, everything. Great stuff. Yeah, so these are going to find a very, very nice place on my shelves. And if you're interested in price, dear viewer, these tend to go for the standard ones like those tend to go for about £1,000 a piece. However, if you want to get some of the rarer ones of those, things like the Locutus of Borg, for example, really quite difficult to get hold of, can go for anywhere up to between £3,000 and £4,000.
It's quite astonishing. If I'll let's put us back to normal. A couple of weeks ago, James and I went to visit our colleagues up north, and we went to I don't know what to call it, a flea market, and we went into a card collector's emporium, and they had some Star Trek trading cards. They're available. So Carl struck up a conversation with the proprietor. I'll let you sort of say what you spoke about and the interesting things he told us.
Yeah, well, again, anyone, the viewer we have that may have watched us for the past 40-odd episodes knows that I collect various different things. And down here somewhere, there is a shoebox full of the old Star Trek customizable card game. And I obviously got into conversation with him about those. He said that he's not had any Trek cards in of the customizable card game for a long while. He actually sold his bulk load to a chap. And he's not really had any since. He has some of the various different trading card ones that you can pick up. But the place itself used to host the customizable card game competitions. I remember going to one when I was younger. And I thought that I had a great set when I was about sort of 14, 15, and I went to this card game. Turned out I had a rubbish set and I got beaten in the first round. I was absolutely hopeless at it. I was the best amongst my friends at it, but I was absolutely rubbish in the end. But it was great to talk to someone who had all that back knowledge. He'd been running this
kind of like making love to a beautiful woman, isn't it?
Yes, Swiss Tony.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was great to talk to someone who had all this back knowledge, and it just started flooding out. A bit like me when I start talking about stuff, I just go on and on and on.
Not enough though. We've still got 5 minutes to go.
Sorry, James.
The two Funko Pops you have there are, of course, priceless as gifts from one of your offspring.
Absolutely. And
So,
you know what the best thing
think
about it
Carl
is?
is so mercenary as to put a price on those collectibles.
Well, the best thing is that William's mother Kerry, they walked into our one of our local toy retailers, and most people that have a 3-year-old sort of thing, those 3-year-olds don't necessarily pick out the presents that the spouse picks them out and puts from child's name. So in my case, from William. Apparently, William saw these and straight away knew Star Trek, picked them out. It was great. So they are actually from William because of Star Trek.
That is lovely.
Oh, we have here Emma wishing you a happy birthday, and it's her big 40 tomorrow.
Oh, well, many happy returns, Emma.
Yeah. And if you want a belated way to celebrate your 40th birthday, Emma, James can tell you all about this social gathering that we're having.
What a way to celebrate such a big anniversary, Carl and Emma, than to travel to Ramsgate to hang out
I
on
wish
our
I could. Don't tease me.
In fact, shall I play the promo again just in case? I'll play the promo again in case anyone missed it.
The promo again.
I'll do it. So, okay. mean, what better way to celebrate your birthday?
Yeah, easy.
Absolutely.
Aren't there, Richard? I mean, the first element was, why is it called USS Atlantis?
It's by the sea.
Because it used to be the Atlantis Bar and Restaurant, which is what
Because it used to be the Atlantis Bar and Restaurant.
It was, yeah. And secondly, can you explain the lady in the chair?
Yeah, she's the red shirt. She's going to die.
Yeah, she's the red. She's the red shirt that sits in the chair. Yeah.
Hope she doesn't get blood all over my chair when she gets killed.
Yes, Alan, it would be perfect for a 60th birthday. Come along with all your friends to celebrate your 60th birthday.
Cracking way to celebrate, I'd say.
There are a lot of stairs, though. I'm sorry.
Paul, I'm intrigued by this, Paul. Your tin set of that card game that you say is sealed, is that the silver border set? Just out of interest. Let me know in the comments, is that the silver border set?
If anyone wants to bring their cards down to the social event, we could have a game. I mean, I don't know how to play.
It's years since I played the game, but it's a great game to play. It's a good way to kill sort of like an hour. Great way to kill an hour.
Let's talk about the venue for the 23rd of October. So we have the main room that you saw there in the VT, which has our bridge set up. We have a bar to the side of it, which is where we hope to install the transporter. We then have access to a separate bar and sort of dining area upstairs, which is where you can have.
There's more than just us that turn up. There's more space there. Yeah,
and if we overspill beyond that, the main hotel bar probably can accommodate an extra couple of hundred people because it's got a sort of 100-foot long bar.
As you previously mentioned as well, if you mention when you're booking, you're coming for the Star Trek event, there's preferential rates. And fun fact, obviously we'd like you to eat in the hotel, but you are opposite the largest Weatherspoons in the world. So, it'll be a cheap weekend as well.
You are also opposite one of the finest royal harbours in the world.
Oh. It's a lovely harbour, actually, in Ramsgate. It's absolutely beautiful. At night, especially, it's really nice.
Yes, right now there is the Medway Queen paddle steamer, which is up on the ramps there. Well, Gary, we might have you shift things around for us.
That's very kind of you. Thank you, Gary. Assembling and deassembling and shipping things around is a thankless task. We must say thank you to the people who've already helped us with transporting the set over and building it, such as the young lady with the legs you pointed out in the promo, who's been an absolute diamond. And Gary, I'm sure you haven't got legs quite as nice as hers, but we'd like to see them regardless.
Oh dear. Now, if Dan were here, apart from looking at us with despair, what else would he be doing? Have we missed anything?
Well, there's fake news, but I've not run that this week because I've been too busy to think of anything interesting. And I didn't want anyone to think that the actual news was fake.
He'd normally be telling us what free merchandise we've been sent. But
I'd like to reiterate that the first 20 people that say they're going to our event will be put into a raffle for the gold Maidon freighter. So there we are.
I love gold.
So there we are. Well, I think that wraps up the show. I'm sure everyone will agree. Another classic.
Absolutely.
It just goes to absolutely, of course it is.
Well said.
Very well said. It remains for us just to say, as always, thank you so much for watching. And if you are watching and you haven't hit the like or love button, please do. I might have posted in the comments about the event. If you could share that to any Star Trek groups you're a member of, that'd be a massive thank you from us. But as always, look after yourselves and each other.
And Richard, I think we should play the promo one more time as our exit.
Probably should do. Yeah, hang on a moment. Let's do that now.
I wouldn't like that at all.
Shit. No, hang on. Wait.